Good morning. I greet the many beings of this place, this land, this room, all of you here and online. You showed up this morning, which tells me you wanted something more than a hot dog this weekend. Me too. We have this hour on a Sunday in the USA, so let's use it. Today, and most days, I ask what is bigger and wiser to make me an instrument of peace. May what is true in my words meet what is true in you. And may my blindnesses help you to see beyond what I have seen. In a bit of an experiment for this pulpit, I've asked Jake to accompany the sermon as a way of helping us listen with our bodies while I speak. We invite you to let the backing sounds help you relax into the support of earth. And let the flute give voice to all we cannot say in words. This week, I got to celebrate one of my favorite holidays, the arrival of ripe peaches. Man who stacks peaches at the stand near my apartment, thank you. I don't even need to bite into a peach. I can just stand on the sidewalk, breathing the perfume of them, and know the juicy sweetness of this life on earth. Summer, thank you for these hazy, fragrant days. This week, I also biked uptown to witness the arrest of 29 USA Veterans for Peace and their allies, doing a die-in on 2nd Avenue to conclude a 40-day solidarity fast with the people of Gaza, who are starving, who are dying of starvation, or are murdered with USA weapons when they try to get food. Yes, we are in a season of peaches and hunger, a season of barbecues and a damn cruel bill, a season of festal and very real bombs, a legion of blessings and grief. It's not every week that we pull out the Bible for a UU worship service, but that book is so tangled in the story of this country that I couldn't resist opening it for the 4th of July. I picked the story of Jesus and the demoniac, partly because the words of the possessed man are basically engraved on every USA coin. E pluribus unum. We are many, he says, though he appears to be one man. This multiplicity, according to the gospel, gives him unusual strength and unusual torment. The plural oneness of this nation, too, is strained, howling, bruising itself on stones. We are many, but some are snatched or buried in prison. We're dragged to this land or pushed from it, or forgot the story of why we came here in the hustle of trying to stay. Since I knew I was preaching this weekend, I reread the Declaration of Independence, which was like asking an old man on his 249th birthday to show me a picture of himself when he was young and principled. before he started doing all the things he claimed to hate. Like, quote, sending hither swarms of officers to harass our people. Or, quote, cutting off our trade with all parts of the world. These directly from the Declaration of Independence. Our leaders and their counterparts among the superpowers rave around the globe, possessed by an energy that preceded them, emulating and elaborating on the tyranny from which their predecessors so floridly declared independence. But we cannot just declare ourselves independent from what the humans before us did. Birthdays and national holidays are a lie of time. We never started, and neither did the nation. Just as each of us was once cells continuous with the cells of our parents, contained inside their organs and their dreams. So this country is offspring of older empires, living out the tactics and desires of England, Spain, France, of Europe, of Christendom, of Rome. One nation, under what? Under the imperative of plunder. It is written of the man in the tombs that no one could restrain him anymore. No one had the strength to subdue him. So it is with a nation that owns nuclear bombs. So it is with a nation felling its forests. When confronted with the man in Gerasene, Jesus first simply asks the unclean spirit to come out, which was worth a try, but it doesn't work. So then, and I think this is the key to the miracle, Jesus asks, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," the man replies, "for we are many." Empire-critical scholars of the New Testament point out that the word legion that the man gives as his name means more than just a lot. The Greek word, legion, in its historical context referred to a specific unit of the Roman soldiers and cavalry. The demoniac's name is a military term, and the person at Jesus' feet is a subject of the occupying forces of the Roman Empire, who used the region around Gerasene as a military buffer zone and convenient trade route through the occupied lands of Palestine. Some scholars argue that the man's unusual strength symbolizes that he is a conscript himself of the Roman military, possessed not only as a subject of their geographical spread, but also as a member of their armed forces, howling, bruising himself with stones. When I watched the US veterans, many of them in their 70s, lie down on 2nd Avenue, I remembered a chapter called On Veterans by the Vietnamese Zen master and peace activist Thich Nhat Hanh, who himself, along with other Buddhist monks and nuns, did frontline rescue work in villages devastated by the Vietnam War, before taking exile to continue his anti-war work abroad. In On Veterans, Nhat Hanh directly addresses US veterans of the Vietnam War, writing, "When you went to war, you went for the whole nation. The whole nation was responsible for what happened there, not you alone. Your hand was the hand of the whole nation." End quote. Indeed, a soldier is legion, bearing the entire population's range of support and ire about war. Who did that bombing? Thich Nhat Hanh asks. Your president, your Congress, your Senate, your people, everyone. You were only the hand ordered to do it. Why keep regret for yourself? Why keep shame for yourself? We who have experienced war directly have a responsibility to share our insight and experience concerning the truth of war. My grandfather, Pop-Pop, was a 22-year-old U.S. Army soldier stationed in Oahu in 1941 when the Japanese Imperial Army attacked Pearl Harbor. He never spoke about the war to me, except for in the way his body startled if my sister and I, in our roughness, made too loud of a thump, and in his ensuing quiet anger, which I think was there to hide the embarrassment of mistaking his granddaughter's play for a bomb. Pop-Pop is in me. I have his jaw and his habit of always having a spoon or a fork on hand. I have his steady, stubborn way. I must also have the remnants of his fear, the little seed of vigilance and hatred of the enemy, which basic training gives you, which actual bombs water, and which you pass on to your daughter, and she passes on to hers. What is your name? Jesus asks. And Legion is the gloss for all of it, for how the bloodbath of an entire empire gets lodged in one soldier's heart. War, writes Martine Prechtel, is an enormity of sorrow, looking for new blood to pay the overwhelming debt of ungrieved blood from the previous war. Should an incarnate representative of the Most High arrive to help our war-crazed leaders be free of their torment, I welcome that day. But in the meantime, we need to heal ourselves and heal together and see to it that the seeds of war planted in us are not watered. Prechtel describes a general weight in a population who has inherited intergenerational ungrieved war. This ghost, he writes, is enormous and becomes a permanent resident of the cultural mind. The entire culture carries its combined weight, and in being born into it, thinks it is all normal. This becomes very much like a spiritual black hole, something that has no visible size, but an immense presence. What are fireworks, if not a sideways attempt at confession? If not a weird wish to send the bombs back into the sky? If the demoniac could not get free all by himself, he tried, he howled, he broke their shackles, he bruised himself with stones. No, he needed an interlocutor, a witness, a listener. And since we're all here right now, on the 6th of July, we might as well try just a bit this sacred technology that Jesus demonstrates in Gerasene. It's simple, really. It has two parts: naming and permission. We'll begin with naming, just as I did with Pop-Pop. I think maybe we don't need this song alongside it. Or maybe we do. Thanks, Adam. But we do need the flute. So for the naming part, I invite you to look inside yourself for just one story of war. Not to connect directly with whoever it is you carry, but more like lifting the curtain and looking out a window. You may yourself have been a soldier or a civilian during wartime. Or maybe you have an ancestor with a name who lived during a war or survived or did not survive. Or maybe you have people further back whose names are forgotten, but whose story of war you know you carry. Thich Nhat Hanh insists that we have to acknowledge the seeds of war if we want to transform them. We have to do it together, he writes, looking deeply into the nature of war in our collective consciousness. So take a moment, find the name of a person who you carry, or a group of people inside of you today when you look deeply into the nature of war. And now this is a part that involves help, the same way Jesus helped the demoniac. If you're able, I invite you to find someone in a pew in front of you or behind you. And take a moment to just make eye contact with each other. And then, we'll do that first. Just find someone. Or next to you. And take a moment just to regard this person, knowing that they carry war in their hearts. They're an inheritor of the grief of war. And now, whoever's ready first, I invite you just to share the name of the person or the group of people who you're carrying right now. Just say that name to the person who you've connected with. And then, when you've finished, give the other person a chance to say the name of the person that they're carrying. And just take another moment to appreciate each other and come back to the center here. And if you didn't get a chance to say a name to someone, take a moment to just murmur the name out loud into the listening air. We are Legion. Legion of loss and surviving. Legion of confused attempts to be safe. Legion wishing we could go back to being whole. Legion of grief and, anyway, smelling a peach. The second part of the healing Jesus practices with the man of the tombs is permission. If you listen closely to the gospel, it's not the exorcist, but the demons themselves who decide they are ready to leave. Send us into the swine, they ask, and Jesus just gives them permission. What we learn from the healing in Gerasene is that a legion of grief cannot be forced out. We can't just wish we weren't carrying this pain. We can't wish our country had done something else or was doing something else. We can't wish our grandparents or their parents were different. But it can be named, and the naming can help it move. A legion of tears stampeding into the all-embracing sea. May what is ready to be released from us today, may it go. May it be carried on the flute into the vastness which holds us all. Our sickness is something big, and our cure includes us all. So let's bless each other from the heart. Send this blessing to the person in front of you and behind you. Send it to all the people in worship together today. May you have the courage to be with what is here in you. May you have the attention to name it. May you find the healers and practices and the community of witness you need to release this legion of grief. I talked with one of the vets at the protest on Monday, an older guy from New Haven wearing a Navy SEAL cap. He said the best way you can thank me for my service is to dedicate your life to peace. He recommended no tactics. It's up to each of us to see our role in making a livable future possible. But his request stirred a sense of allegiance that has long since been drained from the familiar nationalist rhythm drilled into me as a child. Da 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 da. The old liturgies won't cure us. So to close our sermon this morning, Jake and I will recite a new pledge. Me with my voice, him with his flute. I encourage you to go home and play with it. Take those old syllables and consider, to what do I pledge allegiance? What do I wish for all? I pledge allegiance to the truth of our total interconnectedness and to the vast healing which it requires. One body, many songs, howling, whispering. Now, liberty. Now justice for all.